Good morning from the United States of America. I'm currently in a Motel 6 in East Windsor, I think it's called. And today I'm going to Six Flags Great Adventure Bucket List Park. However, Magic Mountain was a bucket list park, and I think that was probably the worst day I've ever had at a theme park. Half it was closed due to some light winds knocking some plant pots over or something. So it wasn't very good, and also Six Flags have just got an awful reputation for being sketchy with operations. Yeah, the Motel 6 room is absolutely huge. So ignore how messy the bed is, but yeah, it's absolutely huge. I'm going to try and condense. I'm still way behind on all the videos I have, mostly due to work. I probably wouldn't even be coming on this trip if it wasn't booked way before how busy work got. So I'm going to condense the footage a little bit and not shoot too much. Park house there from like 10:30 till 10. Yesterday I actually travelled upper class with Virgin on the new-ish A350 planes. Never done upper class before, all new to it, and just the flight bit in the middle, the 7 hours of flight was amazing. However, yesterday was the hottest day ever. I think the hottest temperature was actually recorded at Heathrow, which is quite common, I think. And it was around 1 PM, where at that time I was sat on the plane, and it was obviously the one thing that can actually run in hot weather, because they're designed to, is planes. There's nice air conditioned. Like the airport, horrible. Just to queue up for upper class was like an hour and a half, and I got told, because my flights moved so many times over the last 3 years, I didn't have a ticket basically. It says like, so I do have a ticket, and it allowed me to reserve my seat. Anyway, long story short, that took forever. I went to the information desk, that's another half an hour. Security, the private security for Virgin, like upper class members, that was easily 40 minutes, 50 minutes. And then we waited 2 hours on the runway because our bags hadn't come over. That was due to the general airport chaos. Then when we landed in JFK, we had an hour for the taxi from the runway to the gate because our gate wasn't ready. Security at JFK took 2 hours to get through, and I was first off the plane. If you're at the back of the plane, God knows how long it would have taken. 30 minutes to wait for my Avis card. There was 2 people in front of me. It just took forever. And it's just a horrible day of travel yesterday. The flight bit though was great, and the staff on the plane, absolutely great. But I'm glad I didn't film. I wasn't up for filming yesterday anyway, but I would have been. I mean, everyone always says just I like moaning and stuff, but it would have been pretty horrific as a video. I've got some shots which I'll put in now. Well, lots of buttons for the bed. After the stress of getting onto the plane, I'm very excited. Very excited. And this is the table as well, which pops out. So this is my seat, but how is that the solution? It makes me laugh. Doesn't even stick. Very quickly, this is my car, a Chevrolet Equinox. when I first booked the rental, it was £999. But then I kept checking the price because it's free cancellation to the day before. And every time I went to check each day, it got cheaper. So then I think in the end I ended up paying about £700 for 2 weeks. Which is okay, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe that's a bad price. It's through Avis though, and I've not had a great experience with Avis before, but needs must. I will say this, looks a bit like the Bates Motel around here. Like, you can't see, but all these are actually open and just derelict. But I filmed that during the day, because at night, it's even more scary. So I've just come around, you come in this way, and you park over here. And this is the view you get. You can see this even in the distance over there. Means all the stress was hopefully worth it yesterday. Oh. King cat, world's tallest. Like any of these, I do think that once you go past a certain point, they don't look any taller, and then they definitely don't feel taller when you run them. But let's hope everything's open. I mean, I've had a look and see if I can see what things are closed. Nothing looks like it's been closed for a long time or anything, but I'm sure Six Flags won't disappoint. But yeah, I'm about half an hour early, but I wanted to come around for a quick picture. Not loads of cars coming in, but I think the only times are so long that it normally fills out a bit more towards the day. So one thing, I don't know if I'm going to look like a snowman, it's hot. I mean, oh there you go, it's going on. Oh, it makes a racket. Makes an absolute racket. Yeah, I'm already like burning to a crisp. If I don't burn by the end of the day, it will be a miracle. It's really hot. And it's 10 o'clock. Right, let's go down to the entrance and get my season pass. Well, I think it's an annual pass, not a season pass anymore, which means I can use it to July next year. I would never normally come in July when all the schools are off and stuff. However, if you want to do lots of parks, June and July are kind of the only time you can do it, because they start closing down in September for like 1 day a week or 1 weekday a week and stuff like that. So I've had to brunt it. Another thing is about having the fast pass today. It is expensive. It costs like 120 quid for the day. The pass costs 140 quid, I think. But that's for all the parks, all the Six Flags outdoor parks. But it doesn't mean I can just go and sit in the shade and sit away from queue lines, because there looks like there's some shade over the queue lines though. Right, let's go in. So the entrance with the logo is quite nice, and you come through to this and it's a little bit underwhelming. We've got to take some ticket booths. And then just waiting for this door. I'm going to hide under the shade over here for now. But I think they dish out the season passes actually at the gate, which surely slows stuff down a little bit, but we'll see. So other than just King of the Car, there's also the Jersey Devil Coaster, which is a single rail RMC, which I've not done yet, and I'm extremely excited. I might go there first, or King of the Car. I can't choose because they both get big queues, I think. But saying that, this is all that's here. It opens about 10 minutes or so. And it's not, people aren't flooding in, so it's hard to gauge. Also, I have no gauge on like if I need to buy fast passes at the other parks. So this will be a good kind of test. So even if it is a bit of a waste of money today, it does mean I'll hold off at all the other parks buying it. Because I'm at most of the parks are 1 day, although I can actually have 2 days here if I want, because of not doing Nickelodeon Universe yesterday. So yeah, we'll see what happens with whether it's needed or not. So I'm in, got my season pass, just scanned it, and just tried to scan it again, and it said no, don't think they wanted you to scan it twice because you'll be entering the park twice. And then she said I need to call my supervisor, can you stand to one side? It then said it was fine, and then he let me in like 2 seconds later. She must do that a million times a day. fast delivery of the season pass though. Quick picture, best. I mean, I can't fault that, to be fair. 2 seconds to get your season pass. Right, I'm going to start with King of the Cab because it can only operate when the drop towers aren't operating, which means I imagine that'll get the biggest queue. But I'm really excited. No idea the park layout, nothing. So in quite a few rides, I don't think I can even take my phone into the station. Obviously, I can't film anything. But I also, because they have the flash passes all on your phone, so there's like warning to say you can't take your phone on the ride even though we need you to scan the pass. So they might have to pay for a locker each time, which would be like $1. I don't know if they have like one where you can take it around with you all day. So every time you ride, you have to pay $1. I think. I will give them credit if it's not like that, or if there's one that you can at least take around with you all day. But from other videos that I've seen, I'm thinking that's the case. There's just so many roller coasters everywhere. I'm going to keep heading over this way. I don't know the way to it. I think it's somewhere around here. It's really quiet. No people. So I've vastly. I thought it's the peak of summer. All the schools have given up. Like, why? Why is it not busy? I mean, I imagine it'll be busy later, but still. Oh, hello. So like I said, you do have to, even if you've got zip pockets, doesn't matter, you still need to put them in a locker, but they do offer a pay one price, which is much better than not having that. Look at my hair. I didn't notice that until I just turned the camera up. That was incredible. So, I spent half an hour there and I was just going around doing laps of it. Because you can only send it with X amount of people and there was no one in the station, so I just kept on sending you round and round again. Front row just kept going. The front row on that, I cannot believe you don't have to wear glasses for it. I was waiting for someone to hit me in the face. Absolute insanity, but I absolutely loved it. And the acceleration is different to Top Thrill Dragster. Top Thrill is like instant. It's more gradual, still pretty fast. You feel like even when you're getting towards the end of the run, you're still accelerating, and you're never ever going to tell the difference between 100 miles an hour and 150 miles an hour. Really, I don't think. Third row back was a bit rough, considerably more rough than at the front. Amazing. I could have come off and done some other rides. It's still quiet. It's like a ghost town. Looks like the Flash Pass was a complete waste of money so far. But I've come off to go and find some other rides to do. And the reason why I stayed on there and did quite a few was I thought that I probably will never have the opportunity to re-ride King Dakar again and again in that fashion. So I thought I'd make the most of it. There's a collection of coasters around here. I have no idea what they're called. We'll find out. Right, so let's go and give Green Lantern a go. I think this is the B&M stand-up coaster from looking at it. I've never done a B&M version one before, so I have no idea what to expect. The one at Magic Mountain was closed. It doesn't look like they have to fill the trains on this though, so it should be a little bit quicker, but once again I don't think there's any queue. I am absolutely gobsmacked there isn't a queue. So the loop is yellow, but the rest of the track's green. And I think that's because it used to be yellow somewhere else, but I just don't know why they wouldn't have painted it. So a bit odd.
Select the location and pickup time. Choose your food and drink options, place your order, and pay online. When it's time, just go to your selected location. Click on Pay by Order until the alert to proceed to the pickup window. Okay, order. Stay contact free and feed your need for Yum.
Well, that would be a fantastic ride if you weren't standing up. I think I'd take flying coasters over stand-up coasters. I'm going to prove that point hopefully because I'm about to go and do, I think it's called Superman, which is a flying coaster. Also the Drop of Doom, the drop tower is open, I've just seen them going. I don't know if they have people on actually, I saw the towers going up and down. I was right at the back. It just wasn't everything about it. The loading's very faffy, but much like flying coasters. And it's just not comfortable. If that just had flawless trains, it'd be a cracking ride. Right, Superman. Yeah, so I stand by what I said. I think I'd rather do that again than the stand coaster. As always, the pretzel, I was at the back on that one, and you get dragged into the pretzel loop, and yeah, it's pretty intense. This isn't right near the car park, and there's still hardly any cars coming in, which is great. It means I was going to say relax, I was going to relax anyway, because I had the fast pass. I'm pretty sure today that it's not going to represent value for money, but I wanted to have a good day. Everything's on 2 trains. The staff are getting them out. There's not many staff members, but yeah, because the big trains, particularly on the B&M coasters, but they're getting them out quite quickly. So I say fair play to them so far. I've not got a bad word to say. Also, a little tip, you can just get ice waters. So you don't have to, even the water from like a drinking fountain might be warm. This is a nice bit of relief, but yeah, it's free to go to any of the catering outlets. I saw someone else doing it, so I thought I'd do it. So I'm currently not eating chocolate. This ride is sponsored by Twix. Left or right? Is that still a thing over here? Wasn't that a marketing campaign from like 10 years ago? I'm going to head back over to the Drop of Doom, and if it's open, it means going back on myself a little bit. It just means I can... Everything in this section of park then is pretty much done. That doesn't mean I won't come back and have some more rides later. Probably will, but I'll... yeah, then everything in this kind of section is done then. I just came up the exit. I was expecting to get kicked out of Kingdom Care to get a shot of it going. Because it's the only place you can really view it for, other than maybe outside the park. And El Toro's running around empty, so I did see it stop on the left hill, so maybe it's not working. But anyway, I'm going to do the drop tower now. Interestingly as well, compared to what I saw in years gone by, they are operating at the same time. I just saw it drop with a coaster going right over the top of it, so it is possible that we can now just operate independently, which is great. I don't know where I'm going to put my stuff, whether I need to put it into a locker. I mean, it doesn't have the most exotic queue line. The views of El Toro are quite good. I mean, look at that drop. A wooden coaster. Balder is my favourite wooden coaster. And that's an Intamin prefab, which is what this one is, where they kind of build it in chunks and then bring it to site. Normally, the wooden coaster, they put it in piece by piece, but yeah, you know, there's actually a piece of track here. Actually, there's a lot of steel which goes over it. This used to be part of an old ride. Looks like it's an old coaster, doesn't it? And they've used steel to kind of preserve it. It's only when you're here, oh, they're going up. It's only when you're here that you actually do feel how tall this is. Okay, this queue is giving Energylandia's queues a run for the money. Right, I'll tell you what I think of it, and when we come off, you can see here this is like an additional canopy. The seats already have canopies on them. There's also like an additional one that comes out and in to kind of give the station a complete like force field, if you will. I really enjoyed that. I obviously watched other people come and ride it and they didn't say good things. Did they wait a long time? I didn't wait anything for it. That can make a massive difference when you're waiting a long time for a ride like that and what you think of it. I also think a lot of people would have waited quite long for it because they used to run it, they've got to run it, and they've got to run it, and they've got to run it between them and the coaster. And the coaster did go past as we're going up. And obviously I think that is the world's tallest drop tower, isn't it? If that's the world's tallest coaster, pretty sure. But it does wobble a lot. I obviously wobbled a little bit when the coaster goes over, but you are literally banging side to side, which is a bit disconcerting. With that, you do get the initial like dum, and then the kind of stomach feeling of oh my god, I'm falling. But the fall's that long. You then have the click of, I'm actually enjoying this, because your brain can process what's actually going on. I thought it was really good. I want to wait a long time for it, but I did think it was really good. I enjoyed it. I just noticed my phone is just stopping recording videos after about a minute. I don't know whether it's getting too hot. I have to drop the quality down to HD rather than 4K. Or maybe there's, I don't know why it's doing that. Because it's probably the hottest day about a theme park in a very long time, but so if there's been some weird cuts so far, that's why. Right, I'm going to go and find El Toro. I am very excited for this. Right, it is phones away in the lockers. It's $10 for all day, move them around, which I think is fair.
back this fall for the scariest event of the season. Fright Fest.
Okay, so it is on one train because it was on two earlier, so something must be wrong with this one. It's good. It's no Balder. I take Balder every day of the week. Balder is relentless with its airtime. I was on the second to last row. Meant to be quite a good row because it's not a wheel seat, but I didn't. The only time out of the entire ride, it takes the turns incredibly fast, which is great. There's airtime. However, this hill here got me clinging on for dear life. That arch is tiny compared to the speed you're going, and then you go into some left rights, just at the bottom there, and that bit is absolutely fantastic. First drop's great as well. It's quite a steep first drop. So the train, you can see here, it's just rolled out of the station incredibly slowly. It's still going really slow actually. So I don't know whether they're about to add a second train back on. There was an engineer working in that area, and the queue is only a train's worth, and they're big trains. Yeah, the train is now completely stopped, or almost stopped. I mean, again, everyone has to go with the other agents here, including me. If they're putting a second train on for that queue when there was an issue with it about 20 minutes ago, then absolutely fair play. I've only noticed because I am hovering, which should mean that it's completely empty later for some re-rides. I've just put some more cream on, so if it's white, that's white. They've just put a second train on. Didn't need to. Fantastic. Also, the lift on there is ridiculously fast. We do have screens. Oh, the Joker was closed earlier, that's reopened. Jersey Devil's delayed. I don't know if that's been open at all today because I've not been looking, but I mean, even if I didn't get on that today, I'm still having an incredible day. I've overpaid for Fast Track a lot, and I'm still more than content with what day I'm having. I'm gonna get some more ice water, I think. I thought Six Flags didn't bother doing any theming. This looks incredible. I didn't know you could walk around the back of El Toro there. I didn't know that was a path. I mean, you can see over the lake there just how incredible it looks. And you see, it's not a chain lift, it's actually a catch car. Can you see? I don't know if you'll ever see that on camera. I get a shot when I go closer, but Frontier Adventure, Bog Flume, Bugs Bunny National, what is that? Obviously it's little kids area. This is incredible. I didn't know this was here. I can't remember ever seeing anything about this. Maybe if people have been coming on such a busy day and they just haven't had time to come down here. But you can go on your own on the log flume. I'll give that a go. I mean, it's just amazing. can't believe I'm doing a log flume before some coasters, but I want to do the log flume. Although I think I'm going the wrong way for it. I'll go over this way. Okay, it's actually a bit of a soaker, so instead I needed a very quiet one-way mine train. It's actually hidden in the trees a lot, this one, so not too much to film with it. Well, there seems to be two sets of cattle pens, I'm not really sure why. That one on the other side was for the cable car. Right, I'll let you know what I thought when I come off. But yeah, it's all kind of hidden in the trees, so can't really film too much. You know the in-betweeners? There he goes. Well, that is dreadful. I think he swears. That's what I thought of with that. And also, there's 2 points in there where I genuinely feared for my life. Well, 3 if you count going through the mid-course brake run and not slowing down. It literally, there's a bit where that final cute little bend where it just goes round the pond, flew out of my seat. And also there's a right-hand turn, I was in the right seat, I was flying over to the left and just falling into the next seat. When we do that one again. Next up is Medusa. And that's what you call an entrance, isn't it? And I think it's either flawless or just normal sit down, and I couldn't be more excited for that. So yeah, let's go have a go at this. Again, it looks like it's a flawless train because the station has those bars across it to stop you falling out. And we got, again, it's on 2 trains. Absolutely fantastic. They are smashing the trains out on... Oh, you can just about get a shot of what I'm about to talk about. You can just about see the corkscrews there, and there's a theming element through the middle of it. And when you're on there, it feels incredibly close. No stand up, no flying, you just sit down. Flawless, which is nice. Twice the back, 3 rides allowed. what just isn't to like. Also had a fire effect, which I didn't know till I got on it. And it works every time reliably. No, like one train it misses, I'm trying to go, it might be off all day, I don't know. It just works. Probably one of my favourites of the day. Down at the bottom of the Cobra roll behind me, there is a bit of a jolt. Other than that, fantastic. Right, one more time, this time at the front. Okay, so that front row, there was lots of jolts in the Cobra roll as well as down at the bottom on the left there. And now I have got a slight headache, but that's probably because I need to also drink some water. So I get my free water again. I know, so it's about 1 o'clock now. So 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. And everything you've seen so far has been before that time. So pretty good going. Right, I'm going to find a drink. And I'm going to sit down for half an hour or so. So this with the mine train and this corner going up, it's not banked at all. Well, it is banged a little bit, but like not enough for the corner. And then this little hill here, that's where I was flung out as well. I was at the front, maybe that made it worse. I can't believe how gentle that looks, that mine train, or how brutal it actually is. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Right, let's look at where I need to go to get to. Oh my god. So far, I have done this main street, this side of the park. I've not touched this side yet at all. Wow. Let's go and do Joker. Looks like there's a family coaster back there as well. So, I've never done one of these before. SNS free spin, is it? Is it a free spin? I've done the Zack spins for Winterman, which are mental. From one in Groenland. Let's go and have a little go. I don't know if I need to put my stuff in a locker. There's a security guard there, which normally means you do. So I might just do that anyway because it's free. Yeah, I am going to do it. Well, this was absolutely fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Obviously, I thought it was free spinning, which it is. It is free spinning, but if you look closely at the track, dotted around, about to go over some now, are some brakes. Just in the middle, little spikes. And what they do is, they force the spin. I noticed this, I only really noticed because on the lift hill, you'll see on this one here, you see as they go over it, you start to just wobble a little bit. Just to give you a little taste of it, you'll see now. And it's dragging along and it tips back. And I always thought it was just the weight distribution in the car, but actually you'll always get half decent ride. This first bit was the most mental when you flip right over. And I've never heard anyone really talk about that. So I didn't really realise it was a thing, but it's just a brilliant ride for its footprint. It's much more comfortable than the Zack spins. It's not too intense. But yeah, 5 stars, would do again. Really comfortable seats on there, like really comfortable. I wonder what's in here. Skull Mountain. I've no idea what this is. Is it a rapids? I do remember this though from RCT2 when they added all the Six Flags parks. Yeah, I have no idea what it is. Let's have a look. Well, it's a coaster apparently, so this is a family coaster. No idea. It's got a big building behind it. It's kind of quite well hidden. But we'll see. Again, probably could use a flash pass, but everything's on 5 minutes, so it's just more of a hassle to do it, to be honest. Right, I'll let you know what it's like when I come off. I don't know what it is. I looked on RCDB, and I didn't even actually look at the manufacturer, just like it's classed as a family coaster as well. I can hear techno music, so no idea. It sounds like it's coming from inside there as well, this techno music.
Welcome back, guys.
Okay, so this Skull Mountain has got a huge identity crisis. Everything I showed you as we were walking around had nothing to do with the actual insides. When they dispatch the train, you got one lift hill, and you come down to this level, so you can actually see outside and round. And then you get into the second lift hill. When you get to the top, it's basically like a family. I should have looked it up before I started speaking. Like a family Gerstlauer coaster. That's what it feels like. Big train. And it's then flashing music, there's disco lights. And it's like X. When X turned into like, you know, that music coaster for a bit. Very, very bizarre. It was fun, it was alright, just very bizarre. Right, there's a kids' cut over here. I don't think Six Flags and Cedar Fair tend to have like decent rules on you're not allowed to go on if you don't have a kid with you, which is fair enough if that's the way it is. Well, I can go and ask at least, because there's no queue. If there's I wouldn't queue up for it and risk not getting on it, but I can go and ask. And then I'm going to make my way over to the Jersey Devil, which is still going, single rail, and I am buzzing about that one. I cannot wait to give that a go. It just looks insane. Right, well, don't let this fill you. It's only a tiny ride, but you can just about see the banking on the far side there. It absolutely throws you around. So Zamperla. It's the little jolt to the side. I suppose if there's two of you in there, you won't move as much, but I went by myself, literally flew right over. Right, Jersey Devil. So it looks as if it's on 4 trains. Because this is because it's only one person per row, if you will. The station normally just moves constantly at a slow rate. You're going to hurry people up. Looks like there's plenty of free seats though, so again I was going to see if I needed to do the fast pass stuff, but I don't need to. RMC are my favourite manufacturer. Steel Vengeance. I am really hoping that this does not disappoint. It just looks insane. I don't know where the lockers are. Okay, so it's sometime later, about half an hour later. I never actually got on Jersey Devil. It did stop a few times and then it sent 2 more trains and then it literally stopped. They are working on it at the top of the lift hill. Oh, they're coming down now. Cars coming down. They're not harnessed on or anything, which I find absolutely bizarre. Six Flags are so like safety conscious. No, he's just on his phone. They're so safety conscious and they're like they check lap bars twice and have to say all these all clear and everything. I find it bizarre that they're not harnessed on up there. So instead, I went and had to go on Batman, Nitro, and I had to go on the Dark Knight, which is a indoor coaster. It's quite a bit of theming actually. It's just a felt like a Mac Wild Mouse, but incredibly smooth. So yeah, I've kind of skipped them, so I get a bit of footage of now what I can, because Nitro is literally in the distance. It is on 3 trains, and most trains go around with 6 empty rows, but it's still on 3. So if you want the front or you want the back, you can still get on it really quickly. So I think of Nitro another go. I went on the front and it really wasn't anything to write home about, which is quite sad. It's got the clamshell restraints. You can sit on it all day and be comfortable. But yeah, so I'm hoping at the back there's a bit more going on.
Enjoy your ride here on Nitro. Bye.
So it's better at the back, but still not great. It's just a little bit too slow. There's some trim brakes there, but they're not active. I don't think it's just that you can't feel them, they're genuinely not on. But then saying that they are empty trains, so why would it slow it down even more? So yeah, a bit better at the back, but still. The best bit of it is the helix, the upwards helix. And both times I've done it, I felt really lightheaded by the time I think it goes straight into a brake run after that, by mid-course brake, and I felt really lightheaded. It's got some force to it. So this is a bit of a Gotham-themed area. The Batman, the Batmobile. And the queue line's quite nice as you go into it, but then it goes straight into some corrugated fencing, which is used heavily here. That building there is where the Wild Mouse is for the Dark Knight. I will say this whilst I'm here, that I'm literally, like, everything looks pristine, everything's painted up incredibly well. Other than that weird coaster support on Green Lantern this morning, which has just been left. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but everything looks, bear in mind it's in this, you know, scorching sun all the time. Nothing looks faded, it looks incredibly well presented. One of my favourite bits of this is when it comes around this corner and then it actually starts going a little bit steeper as it goes a little bit into the ground. This is known as like the B&M clone. I don't get too many B&M clones, I don't think, really. Not too many, I'm sure there's a few. This is probably the one that's most, you know, duplicated. But it's absolutely fantastic for how compact it is. The only other one I've done, oh no, the one at Magic Mountain, which I think is the same, and the one at Park Warner, both themed to Batman. So yeah. Right, I need to go get some food. I'm starving now. So I'm gonna sit down for half an hour and get some food in the shade. And then there is Wonder Woman Lasso, which is like a giant flat ride. There is quite a few flat rides here, but I'm not really that fussed about them. Oh, there's one more coaster I need to get as well. A little family coaster, which didn't go on earlier. But I'm gonna go and check Jersey Devil one more time. Well, I've been hovering. Oh, I need to put my stuff in a locker, I think. So I have been hovering in the hope that it was about to open, and it has just opened. So I'm gonna put my stuff. Oh, in fact, I might have to go to a different locker because these lockers I've just used. Some lockers just around the corner. So, just had 6 rides on the Jersey Devil. The first ride was at the second to back row. I walked back around and waited for the back row. They do let you wait as well. You'd think it'd be one of them where no, they have to keep going. Well, they're more than happy to stand to one side, let other people come on. And there's 4 trains. There's a bit of a gap there. There's never really a gap in the station. And with it just being like single rows, no bags, nothing hard onto the station, it does fly. If I was queuing up for that, it would feel good because it's constantly moving queue. So yeah, love that. Single rail's weird, so I did one go on the front, which is my last go. And by that point I've got quite a strong headache. It's brilliant. It's RMC. You can just tell it's RMC. The only issue I've got is, straight after the first drop, instantly as I went into the turnaround, I got cramp in my right hip and like thigh. Because the way you're sat, you can see that you're sat straddling the central column which joins the train together. And you sat basically with your legs open. And then when you get thrown up into this train, it's just not comfortable. If it wasn't for that, in the same way of Steel Vengeance is still like, you know, my top coaster, but undoubtedly the restraints are just poorly designed. Everything else about the restraint, like how they operate, how they pop up, how they lock, perfect for the ride. If you're going to create a ride with so much airtime, you need to think about how people are being pushed up in. Like, I never come off Shambhala with the same sort of pain, and that throws you up like there's no tomorrow for long periods. That said, you can sit and do more rides on this than you'll ever be able to sit and do in Steel Vengeance in one go. Because like I said, I didn't even leave the train, they just let you sit and... There's a bit of a queue now of maybe one train, but they were just letting you sit on and keep going through. I couldn't decide if it was the new top coaster. I mean, airtime wise, huge blast of airtime. On the back is much better
than the front. In fact, more people obviously are quite local to the park. More people were waiting for the back than were waiting for the front. Front was like a bit of a letdown, really. It's still good and it's unique because obviously you're over the single rail and the rail is tiny. But the back is when you pulled over the first drop, whip through everything. I can't decide whether that in its entirety or King Dakar still tops it. I don't know. But either way, incredible. I'm glad I got on it because obviously it's been down for the best part of about 2 hours. But they replaced the sensor, I think, at the top. I was sat outside just in the shade trying to cool down. It's 35 degrees today. And that's the first time I actually checked. I'm pretty sure I thought it was like 28, not 35. And it even says like, it feels 37, 38. Not very humid, but it's just been a tough one to be out today. And I don't think I'll stay too much longer. I think there's actually a weird flat ride that we're doing with this Spin Sanity. I've not seen it anywhere yet. I'm going to have a look for that now. But yeah, it is good. It's just the restraint. So it's like RMC, design everything and they're brilliant. And then right at the end of the project they go, because the rest of the train and the way it flows and the way they pop up and close, there's no delays. It's really flowing really well. Restraint wise as well, it's not like high, it is a click system, but it's like an S&S click system where the clicks are very, there's lots of them. And they seem to be quite accommodating as well. I mean, neuro rides tend to be these days. But yeah, just because your legs are in that weird angle, it just really hurt. Only on that first bit, then right by the end of the front row ride, I don't know whether it's because I kept on repeating, something kind of popped, or something just hurt and it just didn't stop hurting until, as soon as I unlocked the harness, I was fine and walked it off. But when I was sat there, I was desperate to get the seat unlocked. Here's the other station with the Skyway. It's the biggest queue of the day actually. I suppose only 2 people at a time. And it drops you off at the where Lockflume was, sort of gold mining town. Right, one roller coaster cred to go. Interesting design to put the pipes just out and about. Time for a great adventure. See what they did there. Very nice. It looks nice though. Time for less roller coaster credit. And it's one of these. I can't remember. It's the one you find at like at Oakwood Treetops. You see them in a lot of places, to be fair. Which are always a good fun. These, a massive train. They hardly ever have a queue after they go in. Go on in Wales on Treetops. Also, you have the benefit of like, will I hack off a limb through hitting a tree, or will I not? Who knows? Anyway, last one to get, and unbelievably, all 14 coasters, other than Jersey Devil, have been fully open, which, well, not fully open, sorry, Jersey Devil. Oh yeah, all except, that's what I said. Jesus, this 35-degree heat is getting to me now. Right, all 14 coasters done. And look at this, so we're going actually towards, I've not been here all day, this is the actual So I've never done one of these. Is it Zamperla Discovery? The restraints are very Zamperla. They look a lot like they come from Zamperla. It looks pretty big, but for me, nothing will beat the one at Liseberg, Loki, and also the one at just a Danish park. It's the same as Loki. They are the best type of gyro swings these days. I'll give this a go. And there's another flat ride down this area of the park, which I've not even been to yet, and it's 5 PM. It's mental. And I've gone past, on the way down here, gone past the pirate ship, all the standard flat ride. I've gone past the twist, dodgems, carousel, big wheel, all the standard rides you'd always normally expect to see. There's so many rides here. So what we get back home, that's why we always feel shortchanged, particularly because for the season. But I know Six Flags model is like stack them high, sell them cheap type thing, because obviously they get a lot of season passes sold to have a lot of people on, so they're making a lot of money on food and drink. But I just think it's incredible value for money, and the opening hours are long, so it's not as if you're being, oh, you can never get it done in a day. Talk about proper 2-day parks. Nothing in the UK is a 2-day park at all. It's just got short opening hours and isn't great value for money. Right, the reason why I'm stalling is because I'm finishing my drink, which tastes especially just like soda water, and then I'll get on this. It was alright. It was good. Just nothing to... You have about 5 or 6 at the full swing. Yeah, it's pretty good. Just... It's not Loki, is it? Right, I've got another dart ride around here. There's just so much. It's the Justice League. I'm not up to speed on all that, but it's something to do with that. I think I've been on it in Magic Mountain, so I'll give that a go as well because it'll be air conditioned. And then I'm going to go on Cyborg, which is the last one, which just looks weird. Like some of them, there's only 2 of them, both at Six Flags parks. But I'll give it a go, see what it's like. It looks better at night with all the lights. I think they're about to send it, so I'll get a shot of that first before I go on it, and then. Yeah, I've not heard rave reviews about it, but it's just a bit weird. But first I'm going to go on the Hall of Justice, is that what it's called? Battle for Metropolis. Battle for Metropolis. Justice, it is Justice League though.
Captured. Only Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and I are left to defend Metropolis. That's why we're recruiting...
It's pretty good in here. I don't know if I can actually film on the ride. There's nothing to say you can't.
Based on intel we've gathered from
I'll see.
we believe our reach the security, free the captured members of the League, and return the city to order. As if the security at LexCorp wasn't bad enough, the Joker has taken over Star Labs to create his toxic laughing gas. Hey, Cyborg, really? You and your little team of dimwits are no match for what we have planned. Now
The Jewel in the Crown with special effects, all smoke machines, massive fire blast. I did ask if I could film, because it's not on the sign, it's on every other sign you can't film. And the response was, I don't think you can on this ride. That was to the person loading me on. I don't think you can on this ride. And I said, it doesn't say on the sign. She went, yeah. So I didn't film. Not the end of the world, but just, there must be an answer, yes or no. I don't want to have a phone out and they start shutting the ride and stuff. So yeah, a bit odd. I actually said that. But the ride's brilliant. The graphics are they look a bit on the cheaper side now. The special effects in there, brilliant. It's a tracked dark ride, but everything else, it feels like a trackless one. Like the car moves and how it simulates and stuff. But yeah, it's nice. Right, it's now time for Cyber Spin. I mean, this has got some engineering to it, hasn't it? It's making a lot of creaking noises. It needs some like heavy duty like techno music with it. It's just eerily quiet. He screams. Well, it was alright, just 30 seconds and that was it. Finished. It's nowhere near as intense as it actually looked. It was yeah, it was quite comfortable. Right, Jersey Devil did break down again. I don't know if it's reopened because I can't see it from where I am, but so glad I got so many rides in when I did. Oh, there's a keyboard there. I can't see it on there. There is also a rapids, but I don't fancy getting drenched because the rapids over in America are normally proper soakers. Right, I don't know. I'll probably go on El Toro one more time. I've only done it once today. I did King the Cow quite a few times this morning, so I'm not massively bothered about getting back on that one. So I think after El Toro, I might call it a day. It's now 6 PM. And just to think, there's probably double the amount of actual rides. If I want to go on everything else, dodgems, everything else, than I've actually been on. It's got 2 days, and also there's a safari park here, and there's a proper water park, which I do have access to with my pass. The water parks for the 6 Flags passes, I think you only get access to the water park of your home park, and this is now my home park. This is the first one I've got the pass with. Our parks in the UK are resorts. Aren't resorts at all, are they? It's not. It's not enough. Even Pleasure Beach, not enough. Anyway, I suppose the Pleasure Beach could be, you know, Blackpool is a resort. Blackpool Pleasure Beach isn't a resort, is it? Anyway, right, I'm going to go to El Toro. I'm going to try and go on the front row and wait. Hopefully it's still on 2 trains, it's a little bit quicker. And see if that makes any difference to my opinion of it. And then I'm going to head back to the hotel and call it a day. So yeah, let's go to El Toro, which is actually the other side of the park. Found another dark ride, which I imagine from the look of it is a madhouse.
Maybe there's a lot of things inside.
So I might as well give it a go, see what it's like. Again, you're always told Six Flags don't do any theming. Now, I don't know whether this is different. This is different because Magic Mountain isn't this well presented by a long stretch of the imagination. There's a bit of a queue, but give it a go. So just had my ride on the Houdini Madhouse, and yeah, it wasn't brilliant. In fact, probably one of the weaker ones I've done of that. It was a 5-minute pre-show, nice little room, got a quick shot of it, but it was just a voice talking to you, and there's a little bit of stuff on the screen, and then a few things rattled, but I think 3 things rattled, and it wasn't enough to keep your attention for 5-6 minutes really. And the room itself just had, and all of that there's no music with it, or if it was, it's very low. And it was very sound effect heavy, but then no music, so it just fell a bit flat. And then inside the actual, what I'd call the vault, thanks to Hex at One Towers, it was silent in there except for the hum of all the electronics and stuff. And then the operator had to check so many things. Like, he was checking all behind the theming, but in a procedural type way, like each corner came in twice. It was all very, like, it took another 3-4 minutes when it should just be sit down, bars down, off you go really. Also, you had to walk out the other side, not me, but other people with their bags, to leave their bags. They couldn't just take them on with them. So, and then also they had a see-through roof at the top, and that was quite good when they first started shining effects to it. Not quite as good when the fluorescent lights were turned on from inside the building, so you could see through the drum and then see the fluorescent lights were on, and then a person just walking along a gantry, which was incredibly bizarre. But hey, it is what it is. It was alright. I think I've come the long way around to El Toro. Oh no, I can go down here. Oh my god, I'm probably like a beetroot. Well, El Toro was alright at the front. It was some insane airtime again. It's a back row ride though, I think. You couldn't ride it all day. Balder still wins to me. But El Toro is more intense. But Balder is like the sweet spot for airtime, like it doesn't hurt. Also, I've got one of these. Because after a bit of Googling, years ago you used to very clearly say you can use these at all parks. It doesn't say that anymore. So that's why I didn't get one. However, I've just been doing some Googling, and apparently they're using the purple cup still everywhere. And every time you go up, as long as it's purple, it says 2022, they're not actually asking for a receipt for that day or for that year. Because who's going to keep the receipt for a year? I suppose they won't, will they? I thought each park might have a different base colour, but apparently not. So I've got it. It's £31. Should have bought it earlier in the day, obviously, but I didn't do it because I thought there'd be some sort of check. But I thought whilst I'm leaving, I just have a bit of a check before I go. So yeah, go on these now, which is a pain to carry around today, but if it's going to be like this, like if it's going to be this heat all the time, I need more because I've had a headache particularly because there's so many roller coasters and so many big roller coasters. I need to drink more through the day, even if I just put water in it. And if I do get a problem, then I'll just use it as a water bottle instead. So that is the end of the day at Six Flags. I cannot tell you how polar opposite it's been compared to when I went to Magic Mountain. I wasn't filming videos but that was such a terrible day, and obviously in the geeky community, the stigma of Six Flags just being poorly operated. Only thing I saw today, Jersey Devil's having a few problems. That happens. I don't really mind breakdowns if it's a breakdown. It's when staff are just sat around chatting and stuff. And then right at the end for El Toro, just in front of me, they then took a train off. It's just to save time at the end of the day. Rather than take 2 trains off at the end of the day, they've got to just do one. They're just saving a little bit of time. But I'll give them that. If that's my biggest complaint of the day, and it is my biggest complaint of the day. Other than that, the knowledge with the staff at Six Flags always seems to be like, even when I asked like, are you doing the all season cups here? Like, she didn't know the price of them, and she must sell hundreds a day. I just want to check. So it's stuff like that. It's like, and then if you ask them anything out of their remit, there's no secondary layer there. And that's not the staff's fault. That's obviously however they get trained or whatever. That's a minor quibble. It's not affecting my day at all. Everything's in walk on. It'd be pretty horrible if it was a busy day. Didn't need to buy the fast pass. Wasted a lot of money on the fast pass. But after the stressful travel yesterday, I just wanted to have a definite good day, which I would have done. Also, it's the fast pass. There's still a long way to go to the station at the merge points, so you're still going to be waiting quite a few trains even with the fast pass. I imagine on the busier days more people have bought the fast pass as well. Tomorrow I was going to spend 2 days here, but I don't need to do that now, so I think it's like a pier that I can travel to within like half an hour and do some stuff on there and see that. I don't know, that's rubbish because it doesn't give you any information, does it? But yeah, I'm going to have a look at that. But other than that, thank you for watching. It's going to be a long video just because there's so many rides here. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video.